Breaking news! President Biden has just signed a historic immigration rule for 2025 that will change the lives of millions across America. Families reunited, dreamers protected, workers gaining legal status. This isn't just policy, it's a revolution in the American dream. Stay tuned because this is history in the making. Welcome back to our channel, where we cover life-changing updates from around the world. Today, we're diving into President Biden's new 2025 immigration rule, how it reshapes work, family reunification, education, and the very future of millions of people living in the U.S. In a move that has sent shockwaves through communities across America and around the world, President Biden has officially signed a new immigration rule that will take effect in 2025, fundamentally altering the immigration landscape for millions of people. This executive action represents one of the most significant changes to U.S. immigration policy in recent history, and its implications will be felt for generations to come. From families waiting to be reunited to workers seeking better opportunities, from students hoping to study in America to refugees fleeing persecution, this new rule will reshape their paths and redefine their possibilities. The signing ceremony took place amid intense national debate about immigration, border security, and America's role in the global community. President Biden, flanked by immigration advocates, community leaders, and members of Congress, this rule represents a balanced approach that honors America's traditions as a nation of immigrants, while also addressing legitimate concerns about border security and the rule of law. The president stated that for too long, the immigration system has been broken, leaving millions in limbo and failing to serve the national interest. This new rule, he argued, is a step toward fixing that system and creating a more rational, humane, and effective approach to immigration. At the heart of this new rule is a comprehensive overhaul of how the United States processes and manages immigration applications. One of the most significant changes involves the creation of a modernized digital system that will replace much of the outdated paper-based processing that has plagued the immigration system for decades. This technological upgrade is designed to dramatically reduce processing times, eliminate backlogs, and provide applicants with real-time updates on their cases. No longer will families wait years in uncertainty, checking mailboxes daily and wondering if their applications have been lost in bureaucratic limbo. The new system promises transparency, efficiency, and accountability. The rule also introduces major changes to work authorization for immigrants. Under the new provisions, certain categories of immigrants will be eligible to apply for work permits much earlier in their immigration journey. This includes asylum seekers who will now be able to work legally while their cases are being adjudicated, rather than waiting months or even years in legal limbo without the ability to support themselves or their families. The rationale behind this change is both humanitarian and economic. Allowing people to work legally means they can support themselves rather than relying on public assistance. They can pay taxes and contribute to the economy, and they can maintain their dignity and self-sufficiency during what is often a stressful and uncertain time. For international students, the new rule brings welcome changes that will make it easier for them to transition from education to employment. Students who graduate from U.S. universities with degrees in high-demand fields will have extended periods to find employment and potentially transition to permanent residency. This addresses a long-standing problem where America invests in educating talented individuals from around the world, only to send them back to their home countries where they often contribute to competing economies. The new rule recognizes that keeping these talented graduates benefits American innovation, competitiveness, and economic growth. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, commonly known as DAC, receives important protections and expansions under this new rule. Young people who were brought to the United States as children and have grown up as Americans will have greater security and expanded opportunities. The rule codifies protections that have been under constant legal threat and extends eligibility to individuals who may have aged out of the program or who arrived shortly after the original cutoff dates. For hundreds of thousands of young people, this means the ability to plan for the future with greater confidence, to pursue careers and education without fear, and to fully contribute to the only country they've ever known as home. Family reunification. a cornerstone principle of American immigration policy, is being streamlined under the new rule. The notorious backlogs that have kept spouses, children, and parents separated for years are being addressed through additional resources, streamlined procedures, and revised priority categories. The rule recognizes that family unity is not just a humanitarian concern, but also a practical one. Families that are together are more stable, more economically productive, and better able to integrate into American society. The emotional toll of separation is immense, and the new rule aims to reduce that suffering while maintaining appropriate security screening. Border processing procedures are undergoing significant changes designed to be both more secure and more humane. The rule establishes new standards for how individuals are treated when they arrive at U.S. borders seeking asylum or other forms of protection. Facilities will be required to meet higher standards for conditions, and processing times will be accelerated to prevent the indefinite detention that has been criticized by human rights organizations. The goal is to quickly identify individuals who have legitimate asylum claims while also efficiently removing those who do not qualify, all while treating everyone with basic human dignity. The employment-based immigration system is receiving a major overhaul that reflects the realities of the modern economy. The rule increases the number of visas available for highly skilled workers, particularly in STEM fields, healthcare, and other critical industries where labor shortages have hindered economic growth. At the same time, it creates new pathways for essential workers in sectors like agriculture, food processing, hospitality, and construction. These industries have long relied on immigrant labor, and the new rule provides legal channels for these workers to fill critical roles while protecting their rights and ensuring they are paid fair wages. Refugees and humanitarian cases are given special attention in the new rule. The United States has a long tradition of providing refuge to those fleeing persecution, violence, and humanitarian disasters, though this tradition has been inconsistently applied in recent years. The new rule reaffirms America's commitment to refugee resettlement while establishing clearer procedures and timelines. Regional processing centers will allow individuals to apply for refugee status closer to their home countries, reducing the need for dangerous journeys and providing protection more quickly to those who need it most. Enforcement measures are also part of this comprehensive rule, though they focus on smart enforcement rather than indiscriminate crackdowns. The rule prioritizes the removal of individuals who pose genuine security threats or who have committed serious crimes, while deprioritizing cases involving people who have been in the country for extended periods, have family ties, and have otherwise been law-abiding residents. This represents a more rational allocation of limited enforcement resources and recognizes that not all immigration violations are equal in their severity or their impact on public safety. The economic impact of this new rule is expected to be substantial. Multiple economic analyses have projected that the changes will boost GDP, create jobs, increase tax revenue, and address critical labor shortages across multiple sectors. By bringing workers out of the shadows and into the legal economy, the rule will ensure that labor protections are enforced, that taxes are properly collected, and that workers can contribute more fully to economic growth. Small businesses, which often struggle to find workers, will benefit from more predictable and accessible immigration channels. Tech companies will be able to recruit and retain global talent more easily. Agricultural operations will have more stable workforces. Communities across America will experience the effects of this rule in tangible ways. Schools will see students whose parents now have work authorization and greater stability. Healthcare systems will benefit from immigrant doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals who can navigate the system more easily. Local businesses will have more customers and more potential employees. Places of worship and community organizations that have supported immigrant families through years of uncertainty will see those families able to plan for the future with greater confidence. The implementation timeline for this rule is ambitious but carefully planned. Different provisions will take effect at different times throughout 2025, with the most urgent changes coming first and more complex reforms being phased in gradually. Federal agencies are already preparing for the increased workload, hiring additional staff, upgrading technology systems, and developing training programs. State and local governments are being provided with guidance and resources to help them adapt to the changes. Non-profit organizations and legal service providers are gearing up to assist immigrants in navigating the new system. Critics of the rule have been vocal in their opposition. Some argue that it goes too far, that it will encourage illegal immigration, and that it rewards those who broke the law. Others contend that it doesn't go far enough, that it leaves too many people behind, and that it maintains enforcement mechanisms that are fundamentally unjust. These criticisms reflect the deep divisions in American society about immigration and what kind of nation America should be. The Biden administration has argued that the rule represents a middle path, one that balances competing interests and values while moving toward a more functional system. For millions of immigrants and their families, this rule represents hope. It offers the possibility of legal status for those who have lived in fear. It promises faster processing for those who have been waiting. It provides pathways for workers, students, and families who want to contribute to America. While no policy can solve all problems or satisfy all constituencies, this rule represents significant progress toward a more just, efficient, and humane immigration system. As 2025 approaches and these changes begin to take effect, America will once again be reminded that immigration is not just a policy issue, but a deeply human one, touching the lives and dreams of millions who seek to call this country home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more updates on policies that change lives. Stay informed, stay inspired, and see you in the next video.